Now here's the other one, name and address of present employer. As an attorney, I see people who want to lie on this question all the time. They're afraid to get their buddies in trouble who've hired them. They're afraid that they're going to get green card denied. They're afraid because they haven't filed taxes, they might get IRS stuff. All of these issues. They're afraid that they've used fake documents on the job, so they're going to decide, I'm not going to say anything about it. Alright, that is the wrong way to go, my friend, because we have to tell the truth on these applications no matter what. So, name and address of present employer, you're going to put the name and address on the present employer, and here's why. Is because if you work illegally in the United States and you marry a U.S. citizen, you can still get a green card. It's not completely a bar to getting a green card. However, there are some issues that do come up that might get you barred for a green card. The first one is if you make a false claim of U.S. citizenship. If in the process of getting that job you filled out that I-9 form and you wrote I'm a U.S. citizen, or you got a fake passport and showed it to them, that would be a real problem for you. And if that's true, you need to go talk to an immigration attorney as soon as possible. Other things are claiming to be just using any old type of false document that says that you have a regular work visa, or you have a permanent resident card, or you have a driver's license and the Social Security card. Those types of fake documents, those can also be a problem to you. But there is a waiver for those types of problems that you might have and those types of actions that you've taken. Now, with a false claim to U.S. citizen, it's next to impossible to get a waiver. There's not really a waiver authorized unless you're coming in as a non-immigrant. So if you made a false claim, you could really be history on this one. But certainly if you've used a fake green card and other kind of fake documents that way, there are waivers available, there's pardons available to you if you've done that. Now with the employer, the employer who's hired you could also face some risk, because you're filing this application and you're saying, hey, here's my employer, they hired me and they hired me illegally. But in my experience, when they know that you're not authorized to work and you tell them you came in on a tourist visa like Jane did, and you worked on a tourist visa, which is obviously wrong and not proper, they don't know whether or not your employer actually knew that you were illegal. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the employer's done anything wrong at this point. And so from my experience, they don't follow up on these with employers like they do other types of applications or other types of ways of catching employers, like with employees telling them that they hired me illegally without any knowledge or anything like that. So that's why we always want to tell the truth on this. And let's just say that, just to show the truthfulness of this, that that she was working, and let's say she worked at a gas station. Let's say she worked at McDonald's. McDonald's in Nashville, Tennessee. She really didn't, and McDonald's doesn't hire illegal aliens as a practice or anything like that. So don't want to get sued by McDonald's for putting their name here. Alright, name and address. Date this employment began, let's say it started the day after she arrived, so it'd be 11/15/2007. Right, okay. And then, has your relative ever been under immigration proceedings? No. Remember, being in immigration proceedings and filing one of these is a whole different ball game with terms of documents you need to prove that the marriage is good. And if you have any question about this, you got to talk to an immigration attorney. Some people don't know if they've been deported. Some people come across the border, try to come in illegally, and are turned around at the border and excluded at the border. And it's different from getting removed or deported. So again, we have another video tutorial on illegal entry that you might want to check out if you've got some of those issues with your family. And of course, definitely talk to an attorney as well. Now, information about your alien relative continued. List husband, wife, and all children of your relative. Okay, this is kind of strange. All right, here's information about your relative. Who's the husband of the relative? That's me. Okay, should I put my information down here? I don't think I need to put my information down there. It's obvious I'm the husband of the relative, so I don't need to put that down. But the children is definitely gonna, all the children that your relative has ever had are going to be put down on this. And if you leave some out, you know, that could be, you get denied and you can actually be charged with a misrepresentation and deported. And so definitely all the kids down in this area. Also, you know, it might help those kids down the road if maybe they don't want to come to the United States now, but they do in the future, then they might have rights and to be able to be included in a future application. So this is really helpful. Make sure all the kids are down here. Of course, Jane doesn't have any, so that's the way that goes. Address in the United States where your relative intends to live. So this, you know, it's nice when you all are living in the same address and you intend to live in the same address and everything's all on the same address. Sometimes it's not the case, so don't lie about it. Tell the truth. And you know, there's going to be probably, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months, maybe a year before you go to your green card interview. And if you move again, you're going to put a change of address in showing you guys moved together. And even though when you're first starting out you may not be living together, you're going to move together in the future, so you can add that later. So at this point, if you are really not living together and you don't intend to live together, move in together for foreseeable future, just put the address where they're living. But for mine, I'm going to put 631 2nd Avenue South, because most of them do live together. Most of the married couples that I see go get their green card do live together. Look at the autosave gave the USA there. But it doesn't ask for country, so I don't need to put that. Your relative's address abroad includes street, city, province, and country. Now sometimes there is no address abroad. I mean, once she marries and she's here, that's it. She's not going back. Or maybe it's her parents' house and it's not her house. She doesn't have a room there anymore. Okay, if there's none, then put none. That's fine. Phone number, if there's no phone number abroad, don't put one. And if there is, of course, just lay it all out for them. If your relative's native alphabet is other than Roman letters, write his or her form address in the native alphabet. So this is a way for them to see the native alphabet and understand more about that person. So put that in there. If filing for your husband and wife, give last address at which you live together. Include street, city, province, if any, and country. Okay, so then here for the United States, it's going to be the same. 631 2nd Avenue South, Suite 20, Nashville, Tennessee, 37210, USA. From, okay, and let's say that she moved in. When did she move in? Let's see. She came in on the 14th, she went to work on the 15th, and she moved in with me on the 16th, right? Yeah, okay, that's great, so let's do that. From 11/16/2007 to present. That's a good one to put in there.